Hi everyone, thanks so much for inviting me to be here today. I'm Kate and I'm the director of a charity called Brighter Sound, and we're the sector lead for Manchester Music City, which I will talk about in a minute with regards to our role in hosting Womex this year. Thanks again to everyone for inviting me. It was really great to hear at the start of the talk about the Midlands World Music Consortium and the range of work that you do. I think it's really important that collectives and organisations exist to support all the artists and professionals who are working outside of Western rock and pop music, which we're a little bit obsessed with in this country. And that was one of the motivations for us in Manchester, wanting to celebrate that breadth of diversity in the music being made and inspired around Manchester at the moment, around the UK. I'm going to talk just a little bit about who I am, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about Womex. So bear with me one moment while I just swap my slides around. So, as I mentioned, I'm work for Brighter Sound, and we are the sector lead for Manchester Music City. So Manchester Music City is a sort of similar initiative to the Midlands World Music Consortium. It's a collective of organisations. We're a community interest company that supports the city's vibrant music sector. It's made up of representatives from across the grassroots music scenes, from venues, artists, promoters, educators, and organisations all working to support music and make sure that Manchester is a city where music thrives. We're also a member of the International Music Cities Network. So that's an international network of cities who work together to really harness the power of music to support the success of the cities. And that's looking at the way that music is integrated and valued at policy level, right across all different areas, really, and making sure that it's valued and that it has the opportunity to thrive. Manchester Music City is the lead organisation for Womex in 2024, and so that's what I'm going to go and talk about next. I'm going to give a bit of an overview of what Womex is. I'm going to just talk briefly about the work that we're doing around it to make sure that there's so that it's embedded within the community and to ensure it has a legacy, and then I can just go into a little bit more detail about the week and what it looks like. I was just wondering, I think I got from the introduction that it's perhaps a mixture of people in the room who are artists or people who are working or enjoying music in different ways. Has anyone been to Womex before here? There's a few people who've been, and I've got some leaflets that I'll share out later as well. In about 3 weeks from now and counting, the world's largest international music event is coming to Manchester. It's in its 30th year, and Womex, which stands for Worldwide Music Expo, is the leading networking and business development platform for the world's music industry. Brings together over 3,000 music professionals, including showcasing artists from over 100 countries and public audiences of in excess of 5,000. Its musical spectrum really is unparalleled, embracing a vibrant mix of genres and styles, including folk, roots, jazz and electronica, with artists representing the cultures and regions from around the globe. So Manchester Music City, which I've referenced earlier, was successful in putting in a bid for Manchester to be the host. The idea really is around really recognising and celebrating the broad diversity of music that is being made in Manchester at the moment, but also in celebrating international connection and collaboration as well. Manchester remains city, and I think it's been really important for everyone involved in the arts and culture to ensure that is portrayed around the world. So hosting Womex really is around sending that message out that we're an international city. It'll be the first time that Womex has taken place in the UK for over 10 years, and it's likely that it's going to be the last, because after it was announced about the UK's exit from the EU, the brand owners said that they wouldn't be moving it to the UK anymore. It's a festival that moves around. It's in a different country, in a different city every year. So we're really excited. It's a huge moment for Manchester and the national music industry as a whole to be hosting. So what does it look like? There will be a bustling trade fair with over 700 exhibitors from 58 countries taking place between the 23rd and 27th of October at Manchester Central. There are 8 stages showcasing 280 artists from across the world. They'll be at Aviva Studios and Albert Hall, Manchester Central Auditorium, the Ritz in Manchester, and the new Aviva Studios has got like a ping pong stage as well. So we've got different artists at different sides. The opening night will take place at Bridgewater Hall on the 23rd of October, and that's really a moment to shine a spotlight on the artists from Greater Manchester who are looking forward to showcasing their talents to the delegates as they arrive. Throughout the week, there's also a film programme which takes place across a couple of different venues, and then there's a sort of networking breakfast and awards ceremony to close out the festival on the 27th of October. We are anticipating around over 3,000 delegates from over 113 different countries, and that looks like a range of different roles, so over 1,000 promoters, nearly 1,000 booking agents, managers, labels, publishers and distributors. There's also a big range of governmental and educational institutions, national and international journalists, and of course the artists, which are coming from over 42 different countries this year, with conference speakers from over 45. Just a note on travel in and out of the UK that we are doing a lot to try and mitigate visa problems. We're working closely with Artist Info Point to ensure that everyone has a good experience and arrives safely in the UK. So just a quick note in terms of the delivery organisations. Brighter Sound is involved running the wraparound programme, and we're also working with fellow members of the Music Cities Network, the English Folk Expo, who some of you may have come across in the past, who are the main event producers. Brighter Sound are leading on the work that's really focused on creating a legacy. So I think it's really exciting to have all these artists coming into the city, all these different music businesses from around the world. But it's also really important to us that this has impact at a community level as well. I recognise that a lot of this is Greater Manchester focused, so it may not feel like it has relevance at the moment, but we're really interested in ways in which we can connect this work beyond the borders of GM, and really keen to chat about opportunities for collaboration. So I'm just going to give some headlines around some of the work that it's developing, but really open to any conversations later around this. So the Legacy project is themed around new voices, new work and next steps, and that's focusing on ensuring that when Womex comes to Manchester, it has an impact in the communities and artist communities in Greater Manchester. It includes showcasing opportunities for local artists, a leadership programme that we're running in partnership with the British Council, commissions, roundtables, leadership lectures, a supplementary schools programme and a youth-led conference. There's going to be work in the lead up to Womex, in and around Womex, and then post Womex running through to 2025 and hopefully beyond. We see this as a really important opportunity to build capacity, particularly around international opportunities and skills for the region's music industry, and also to improve our regional music industry's connections and collaborations by bringing artists together from different countries, bringing leaders together from different countries to share practice, to learn from each other, and to hopefully develop new partnerships that will take us into the future. So just a little walk through what Womex will look like when it arrives. So it starts on Wednesday, the 23rd of October. This is where delegates start to arrive from all around the globe, and it begins with a registration and the trade fair opens. That's the first thing to happen. It's all centred around Manchester Central. In the evening, there's the opening event and after party at the Bridgewater Hall. The opening event features 4 artists from Greater Manchester's global music scene who will each be performing a 15-minute showcase. So from the Thursday to the Saturday, the trade fair runs throughout that period from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock every day, alongside other daytime activities, including panels, conference sessions, roundtables, day cases, film screenings, and there's radio studio as well. Each evening there's public and private film screenings at home and at Manchester Central, and from 9 p.m. till 1 a.m. there'll be performances animating the city in the venues that I've mentioned, which will be open to the public as well as delegates. So the showcasing artists are from all around the world. They've been selected by an international selection panel, and each stage has 3 acts per evening. So within that as well, we've also got in the Albert Hall the regional stage as well. So that has been programmed by the Arts Councils of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and the Republic of Ireland as well. So there's an opportunity there of showcasing 9 global music acts from the UK and Ireland. As if that wasn't enough, on the Friday and Saturday there's also a club summit as well, so DJs from around the world playing from 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Again, these DJs have been selected by an international jury, so it's a really exciting programme, a club programme that sees the night out. On the final day, which is the Sunday the 27th, delegates gather at Aviva Studios for a final networking event. It's usually quite a tired group of delegates that turn out on the Sunday breakfast. And then Womex host an awards ceremony where they celebrate an artist and celebrate some really exciting practice from different industry professions. And then it's like a baton handover. They announce who the next host city is for Womex 2025. So that will be the point where we say goodbye to Womex. I think we'll be very tired by the time we do that. I've mentioned that we're working in a range of venues all around the city. It's sort of really important to the people who own the Womex brand, Piranha Arts, that all the venues are within a footprint of the city. So everything's within a 10-minute walk of one another, all the venues. It's really easy to get around to see different artists or to get to a film screening. And we are also working with partners, Attitude is Everything, Black Lives in Music and Music Support to ensure that we're really doing everything that we can to make sure that it's an inclusive and accessible event. So for people who maybe haven't come across those organisations, Music Support are focused on well-being and mental health support for musicians and music professionals. We recognise that these type of events can be really quite intense. You can see there's a lot of sort of round-the-clock working. There's also a lot of alcohol, and we really want to make sure that people can enjoy themselves, take regular breaks and find support if they need it at times. So Music Support will be programming an awareness area for us, and we'll have quiet spaces as well for people when they need to just take a break. Attitude is Everything are specialists in disabled access and supporting people with neurodiversity to engage with conferences and events. They work across the music industry, but they've been taken on an advisory role to support us in the development of Womex, and they'll also be involved in panel conversations and there as part of the support and awareness area. And Black Lives in Music are going to be launching their anti-racism code of conduct, which is a really a really massive piece of work that they've undertaken to try and support the music industry to be more actively anti-racist in the way that it supports people from all backgrounds to engage and participate and progress. So we're excited to be working with those partners as part of our commitment to making Womex in Manchester as accessible and inclusive as we can. Final note just on audiences, as I said, there's obviously a huge amount of delegates who are going to be in the city, but we've also got public tickets on sales for across all the different venues. So there's a really great opportunity to experience artists who might not normally be touring through the UK. We've got a series of 3-night and 1-night festival passes. They're all really, really reasonably priced because we're really keen that we want to see that public audience take up. We recognise that a lot of this, it was mentioned in one of the presentations earlier really, that there's an aspect of risk-taking. For some people, they might not be acts or artists that they've heard of before, but we're really keen to encourage public audiences to come along and listen to something new. That's my whistle-stop tour of Womex, but I'm going to be staying around a little bit for the networking session. I'd love to chat to anyone who has any more questions, and I've got some flyers which I'll leave out as well. Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you.